Hi, I'm Lisa. It's the new year, and it's the perfect time for you to make new goals to improve your English. In this video, I will give you some tips and techniques on how to become more fluent in English this year by developing a more powerful vocabulary. I will also show you a method which was very effective for me when I was learning French. It helped me to master French vocabulary and to become fluent in French. I believe it will help you take your English to a more advanced level. Have you ever read a whole novel in English? If you're advanced, you probably have. But if you haven't already done so, make a decision to read a novel in English. When you read a book that you're interested in, you will want to know what happens. It will motivate you to keep reading, just like a good film motivates you to keep watching it. Read something that excites you and interests you. The first book that I ever read in French is The Little Prince. I love this book. This book is really old. I can't throw it away. It has a lot of meaning to me. It felt so good to be able to read the whole book and to actually follow the story and to understand it. Here is my name, Lisa Moisen, Français 3, third year of French. When the teacher said that we were going to read a whole book in French, I was really nervous and I thought maybe that class was too advanced for me. But it was really exciting to finish it. I felt like it was a big accomplishment. So, if you haven't done that yet, find a novel that you think you might enjoy. My vocabulary improved a lot from reading this book. And I took notes on all the words that I didn't know. I wrote the meaning of the words directly in the book. For example, éclater, to burst, or racine, roots. These words are easy for me now, but it's really nice to go back and to see those words that I didn't know then, and then to measure the progress that I have made. I looked up the words in the dictionary and I wrote them in the book. And here is my second tip. It's about a dictionary. When you don't know the meaning of the word, how do you look it up? Do you look it up online, or do you have a physical dictionary, an actual book? My next tip is to get an actual physical dictionary. And I want to explain to you why I believe that a print dictionary, an actual physical dictionary, is better for improving your English. I would like to teach you a method on how to use your dictionary more effectively than maybe you're currently using it. And then at the end of this video, I will tell you about some dictionaries that I recommend. For some people who are only used to online dictionaries, a physical dictionary may seem old school. Do you know what old school means? It means the way people used to do it in the past, the traditional way. You can say, I love that dress, it's so old school. Or, I prefer old school hip-hop music. So using a physical dictionary can be considered old school, but I think it's still a very good method. Usually, when we use a dictionary, we use it in a passive way. When we don't know a word, we look it up and we say, aha, I got it. I know what it means. Okay, and then we just close the dictionary, and that's it. But I suggest you do something else. When you learn a new word, underline the word in the dictionary, and then use the word by creating your own sentence immediately. That way, you're more likely to remember it and to use it when you're speaking English. With the physical dictionary, you can leaf through it like this. And what does leaf through mean? It means to turn the pages quickly, and then you can see all of the different words that you underlined in the past. And you look at the underlined words, and then you test yourself. And you ask yourself, I underlined this word. Do I know what it means? And maybe you don't remember. In that case, you read the definition again, and then make a few sentences using the word. But the good news is there will be so many words that you will see that are underlined that you know that you learned maybe a year ago or 2 years ago. And that's a really good feeling when you can see your progress. Another thing that I like about paper dictionaries is when you look up the word, you see the words directly above the word and below the word. And often they are related words, and you can see the root word, so you're learning other words with similar meanings. And I think that helps you better understand the word you're looking up. I want to tell you a very quick story about my journey with the French language and about my favorite dictionary. Look at this dictionary. This is a French and English dictionary. It doesn't have a front cover and it doesn't have a back cover. This dictionary is from when I was 13 years old, and it's probably older than many of you watching this video. I was in middle school and it was my first year of French. My French teacher was Mr. Lippincott. And one day I asked Mr. Lippincott, "Can you recommend a French-English dictionary to me?" I don't remember what he said, but a few days later, he passed by my desk and he put this dictionary on my desk. He gave it to me as a present, and I was shocked. I was a shy 13-year-old girl, and this teacher decided that I was important enough. This teacher cared about me. He went to the store and he bought this dictionary for me. That was so important to me. I took it everywhere, and later when I went to high school, I used it in my high school classes, and later I went to UCLA and I continued studying French at the university, and I still continued to use this dictionary. Many of you know that I used to be a French teacher. I have a degree to teach high school French in the United States. And Mr. Lippincott, who gave me this dictionary, was such a big influence on me. I wish that Mr. Lippincott could find out that this shy 13-year-old girl became a French teacher. Some people don't realize how important they are in your life. Another method is, instead of underlining, you can mark the word with the pencil dot the first time you find it. Then, when you come across it again and you don't know what it means, you can put another dot next to it. And then, by the time it has 3 dots, you might need to write it down in your notebook to make sure you practice it. But usually, 2 dots will be enough. The second time you see it, you will remember it, especially if you say the sentence out loud. My next tip may be obvious. Don't try to memorize the whole dictionary. I have had several students in the past who have actually memorized all the words in the dictionary. I don't recommend that you do it. One reason is many of these words are not so common. We don't necessarily use them all the time. Maybe they're very specialized, very technical, or very scientific. And of course, it's very hard work. And you'll probably get bored. You will not be motivated to study that way. My next tip is read a wide variety of subjects so that your vocabulary will be well-rounded. If you're a professional and if you use English at work, you probably have an excellent knowledge of the words related to your specific field. But when you want to express yourself on some other topics such as politics or current events or even everyday things, you might struggle to find the right word. When you broaden and expand your vocabulary, you'll be able to communicate with anyone about anything in English. That's true fluency. That will make you feel confident about your English. And that was my goal when I was studying French. I wanted to achieve that level of fluency where I could talk about a wide variety of subjects. You can also get my online course, 400 Advanced Words You Must Know for Fluent English. For each word that I teach you, I say several sentences where I use the word and I pause for you to repeat. And I have a 28-day challenge. I have a schedule that I wrote out for you so that you can learn 200 words in just 4 weeks. Here is a sample from that course where I'm teaching the meaning of word number 152. The word is to plummet. Do you know what that word means? Let's listen to the way I teach it. The next verb is to plummet. To plummet. And that means to drop quickly, to decrease sharply. The stock market plummeted to its lowest point in decades. Let's make sure you're pronouncing decades correctly. A lot of my students make a mistake and they stress the second syllable. So it's not decades, it's decades. The word decade has a different meaning from the word decade. Let's say it again. Decade. The stock market plummeted to its lowest point in decades. His reputation plummeted after he was accused of the crime. His reputation plummeted after he was accused of the crime. And let's make one more sentence. As the meteor plummeted to the earth, it broke into tiny fragments. And let's say the earth. The earth. As the meteor plummeted to the earth, it broke into tiny fragments. The course gives you sample sentences and questions for conversation and a quiz to check your learning. If you would like to buy an English dictionary, this is the one that I recommend, Merriam-Webster's Advanced Learners English Dictionary. It's very good for non-native speakers. It's got 2 or 3 sample sentences for every word, and I think that's so important when you're learning English to actually see how the sentence is used. Remember, a rich vocabulary will not only help you understand English better, but it will give you confidence when you're speaking or writing English. So keep practicing with the methods I gave you. And remember, success doesn't come from what you do occasionally. Success comes from what you do consistently. Thanks for watching and keep practicing your English.